So, Tommy, welcome back to the show. Firstly, I think we're all aware that the last few weeks have been, well, let's just say pretty difficult for you as a human being. And the first question for you is, everyone's going to ask, is how are you and how are you coping with the current situation?
I'm all right. Do you know what I like? Do you know how I look at it? Everyone gets to hear my story, don't they? Everyone knows what's happening with me. Do you know how many men have just been whisked off the streets and thrown in jail that people don't even know who they are? Do you know how many men are getting beaten up in jail and terrorised in jail right now? They're getting terrorised. I've spoke to families, I've spoke to mothers. They are getting beaten in their cells, beaten in the showers. These are men that have had a target put on them by Keir Starmer. When I go to jail, I hope that I'm kept in safety because of who I am. Yeah, I'm actually in a better position than most ordinary men that went out in anger at what was happening to our country. So my position is, it's not great, but it's not the worst either. It's definitely not the worst. And there's many people that are suffering that people aren't hearing about. Also, at the minute, I'm good. My book's in the charts, so I'm happy. I just said, what am I going to do in next? I said it to, I think I was one of these trolls. I said, in the next 10 days, I'm going to have a best-selling book. I'm going to have the biggest demonstration the country's ever seen for patriots, and then I'm going to jail. So you tell me what you're doing in 10 days. And in amongst that, I'm going to go out, eat at my best restaurant, my favourite place, see my kids again one more time. Everything's all right, man. Everything's all right.
There's your new book, Manifesto. There's a link in the video description and on screen as well. If you want to go and buy Tommy's new book. Tell us a little bit about the book, Tommy.
Have you read Animal Farm by George Orwell? It's Animal Farm.
Some of it.
Okay, so it's a book about how they farm the animals, yeah, and the animals and who's in control, yeah, and it basically looks at that and looks at what they're doing to us, and it's identical. Literally lying to you about the history, rewriting the history. Literally, when we went through, and Peter McLaughlin, who's co-authored this book, Peter's the most intelligent man I think I've ever come across. Yeah, his knowledge. We're not Paul. He told me COVID was coming before COVID come. He said, Tommy, wow. I'm telling you, they are planning something. The money bubble's got to burst. They've been printing money. They have to have a new system. To get the new system, they have to test it. They have to do this. They're going to have a massive national disaster. Something's coming. He told me this a year before. And when it happened, he rang me up. He said, what did I tell you? This is that. And so literally anything Peter's told me, I ring him up and literally say, what's happening next? What do you think is going to happen next? Peter co-authored Muhammad's Quran with me. We spent, when I got censored, Peter's knowledge, when I got censored for 5 years, we spoke about this. We also spoke about kufrophobia. If you think about Islamophobia, there's no doctrine for Islamophobia. There's no book or manual. Well, there is for kufrophobia, and it's the Quran. The Quran is literally an instruction manual for this. So we spoke about the rape of Britain. I want to do the rape of Britain as well. But manifesto had to come first. Because as we go on, it will be like, we told you the layout, we showed you the layout. If I just go through some of the chapters here, and we go back through, so it starts, introduction, farmed like animals, democracy or oligarchy. We don't live in a democracy. It's total nonsense. It's total nonsense. And when you go through, and a lot of this will shock people, a lot of it's going to terrify people. But there are footnotes of evidence. So I'll go through. We've got political parties, black pill, democratic elitism. We go on to economics and finance, the money bubble, the gold standard, the welfare state, where welfare leads, fake money and easy credit, the financial trap, World War III, digital currency, which is the social control, population replacement, looking at the fact. You know what they rely on? They rely on the fact that we're stupid and they've got us entertained with whether it be sports, music, whatever it is. We're not even looking. Everything's in plain sight. Everything's documented. Their plan to replace the European population is documented, meeting after meeting after meeting. So we draw back it, we put in the evidence, we show what they said, how they're planning it, when they're planning it. We go through everything. So this is an academic book. As I said, it took years to clarify, years to research, years to put the evidence together to say that the Great Replacement, leftists go in the replace. Do you know each one of the terrorist attacks that they say are far right, they're all from the left. They just literally rewrite everything. They lie about It's shocking that when you look at it, it's like everything's been a lie. Everything's been a lie. I was going
to ask you later on, why are they doing this to you? But you're just answering the whole question there, aren't you? It's because you're telling the truth.
Well, they certainly do not want this, yeah? Which essentially, what I look now and think, well, no matter what, this is out now, yeah? Our manifesto telling you what they're doing. We need direct democracy and we're running out of time. The figures of when we will be replaced as white English people, they say 2060. We looked at it. It's not. It's 2041. In 2041, we're going to be a minority in Great Britain. And they play on the fact that by the time it happens, it's too late. Because if we get direct democracy in 10 years' time, we lose. Because the Muslim population and the migrant population will outweigh us. So the only solution to these answers is direct democracy. Ask the British public, do they want to go to war and support Ukraine? They'll say no. Ask the British public, put it direct to the people. And they spoke about direct democracy throughout the whole of history. In the 60s, the minute we got technology that enabled us to have direct democracy, boom, they've never mentioned it again. It's literally silenced on it. So this book looks at all of that. It's a real deep dive into all these things. It's lazy. A lot of people at the minute, I'm seeing a growing trend just to blame Jews for absolutely everything. This looks at that. This looks at what happened in Israel to a rabbi who was a Zionist, who wanted only Jews to be able to vote. They finished him. The oligarchy finished him because he was a threat to power. Anyone who's a threat to their power, it doesn't matter if they're Jewish. It doesn't matter. The oligarchy isn't entirely controlled by Jews. It's not. Yes, the vast amount of them will be Jewish because Jews rise to the top due to their intelligence, their work ethic, all these different things. So I don't blame Judaism for it, but we have a deep dive into everything in this. It went straight in at number 2. I'm very happy. It's our 4th book. And do you know what? The time
we'll soon get that. We'll soon get that to number 1.
I hope. You know what? I try and make a positive out of everything. So my positive at the minute, and there was a moment when I was looking at things very negatively. And then I thought, if they send me to jail, which they will, I know they will, yeah, they're going to send me to jail. I don't know how long for. I've got my head around 2 years, then I had to get my head around 4 years now. If they send me to jail, when I return from prison, hopefully, yeah, I'll have more credibility as a journalist than they could ever dream of, yeah? I'll have more trust from people. I'm not going to stop. So I look at it like that now. That's how I'm viewing it. I'm viewing it that certain things have to happen. So I've spoke to families of people who are in jail now for the riots. That's what I say. I know this isn't any consolation or this isn't going to make you feel better at Christmas when your dad's not here or when your husband's not here. But your husband and dad had to go to jail. And they had to go to jail in that visual way of unfair treatment because that is part of the mass awakening. Many people would have been awakened by Keir Starmer's tactics and what he's done and how blatant he's been since the riots, since he got in power. He has helped. Yeah. This is all part of the mass awakening. Imprisoning me for my journalism when 52 million people have watched the film, it's part of it. It has to happen. That's how I'm viewing it. It has to happen.
What are they going to get out of sending you to jail? What are they going to get out of that, apart from revenge?
They're stupid. Yeah, but then they're stupid time and time again. I think, are you this stupid that you're actually going to do that? 52 million people have seen the film, and you're still going to use your lying media to try and tell everyone I lied. Everyone's seen it. I'm going to ask the judge. So I'm going to say to the judge, have you watched the film? What am I doing here? And I know it's not going to go down too well, but have you watched the film? I didn't lie. You can keep telling people I lied, but people know I didn't. Yeah. So you're sending me to jail you're sending me to prison for telling the truth. By the way, anyone wants that, you've got it along the top. I just saw that. Google Tommy Robinson manifesto. I don't think it's going to be on Google for very long. We're setting up a backup plan. It's not going to be on Amazon for long. It took them a week last time to ban my last book, but I just wanted to prove to them that we can get it on there. It will be a bestseller as it has. And yeah, but I think they're that bitter and that stupid. And then I think, you know what else I thought? When the film was released, when I released it on the 27th of July, so I blatantly breached their order, yeah? I did, yeah? And I don't regret it. So I don't regret it. I regret what the consequences. I regret what's going to happen. I regret the fact I'm not going to see my children. I regret the danger I'll be in. But I don't regret showing the public the truth. I don't regret it. So I'm happy I showed the public the truth. But when I'd done that, I thought if enough people see the film, the authorities, the government, the establishment will be backed into a corner where they won't be able to just lock me up for years. But then I saw them locking people up for swearing at police dogs. Yeah. And they didn't care that the whole country in the world is watching. They didn't care that now two-tier Kia has become a famous phrase around the globe, that American politicians, European politicians are all laughing at Great Britain as there's no free speech. They don't care. So then I
They're not
realised
even hiding it. They're not even hiding it anymore, are they?
they don't give a shit. So then I realised, oh, I'm fucked. It
So
don't matter.
so what have you been doing? You've been getting your head prepared. You've been mentally preparing yourself for what potentially could be coming.
Mentally prepare myself, yeah. Mentally prepare myself. Also trying to get things in place for my family. Like, I'm not joking. I've had to do a will. I've had to do videos for my kids. Things that I've had to prepare because I don't know what might happen. So, yeah.
I mean, look, let's get it right. God forbid, if they send you to jail, your life's in severe danger from the moment you enter the system. But there's going to be a lot of ears, a lot of eyes, and a lot of people looking out for you, looking at how you're treated. And they've got to guarantee your personal safety because it is their responsibility to guarantee that you come out safely, not only physically, but mentally as well.
Mate, they didn't in Woodhill. They locked me in a cell with them. They didn't in Peterborough. I was fighting. They didn't in Bedford. I was fighting. They didn't. So they did the last time in Belmarsh. The governor's gone from Belmarsh. So Belmarsh is the only prison in the UK. And bearing in mind, my offence is a civil offence. So I
was going to say, what the hell were you doing in Belmarsh?
It's a civil offence now. But when I look at it, you see, any prison I go to, they can't get me in the visiting room. They will not be able to get me in the visiting room because if they do get me in the visiting room and my family come in the visiting room, there's chaos, there's violence. They won't be able to walk me anywhere. So when they put me in Belmarsh, Paul, they put me on a secure unit. It was built for Ian Huntley. So it was just me and no one. I didn't see anyone. It was just me in a cell. There was no governors or prison staff or nothing. They just come to that unit to open the door. They opened the door and then my visitors were brought not into the main visiting hall. They're brought to my cell. So where my cell is, I literally didn't leave that section. So the purpose of that is that if there's such a high risk against someone, so they did keep me safe, but but the only person, I went into prison and left prison without seeing another prisoner. The only prisoner I saw briefly was Julian Assange when I was taken upstairs to healthcare. So but I was safe. So you see in that situation, the previous situation, every time I heard a key, I have to be ready because I think they're going to open my door and someone's coming in. So I have to be on edge and on guards. But in there, no one's coming. So I could relax. I was totally on my own. I didn't see anyone for months. But I don't know this time what they'll do because that was a short sentence. If they give me 4 years, you can't put me on solitary confinement for 4 years. You can't. And if you want to, how can you? They're not allowed to put you for more than 28 days. They're not legally meant to for your mental health. They know it has an adverse effect on mental health. So they know what they're doing. So, and my offence is a civil offence. It's not a violent offence. It's not a high risk offence. It's not really a prisonable offence, but they will. So I know, I always prepare myself, Paul, for the worst. As you probably noticed, I'm pretty catastrophic in my mindset because I always have to expect the worst. So I have to expect or prepare for all the worst things. Sometimes I probably, at times, drive myself to a level of insanity at times, but I just think I have to be prepared. And then I have to, do you know what? The other decision I had, they can't extradite me. It's a civil offence. They can't even come and get me. You see, if I didn't want to go back to court, I don't have to go back to court. Do you know why I'm going back to court? Because I truthfully think it damages them more than me. I believe in my cause that much, and I've gone through enough, and you've fucked my life enough that I will throw myself in your way. Do your best. Give me the big sentence. Send me to jail. This lot out here, you're going to wake them up like I could never dream of. It would take me 20 or 30 years of work, week in, week out, to get this public awake to the problems we face with the corrupt judiciary. Me working all the time, or you give me a big sentence for a film that tells the truth. Like I'll do 30 years work in an hour in front of a judge, and then I'll probably do a year or two sitting down the block.
Tough question, mate. But, you know, bless them. How's your family taking this now? Because, look, you're a dad just like me, and I know how much your kids mean to you. They're the ones that it breaks my heart thinking about the situation.
My daughter was just out here. My eldest, she's 17. I was on taxi duty. Let her and her boyfriend go out in Benidorm. Do you know what time they got in? 6:30 in the morning.
Oh, dear.
I looked at my phone. I was ringing her at 3, FaceTime her at 4, FaceTime her at 5. She's sending me her and her boyfriend singing Oasis songs. I'm like, darling, I'm in bed. I need to come get you. Yeah. But she come over, and I was upset in leaving her because I think that's probably the last time I'll see her for a little while. At the airport, I'm just getting my son and my youngest over again. Well, I will do, hopefully, before I come back.
Can you tell us when you're coming back?
I'll be back before court, Paul, and I'm hoping we can all... What I want to do, I think it's important, that everyone who's planning to come on October 26th knows that no matter what happens, if I'm detained, if I'm arrested, and if I'm imprisoned, it's more reason for you to turn up on the 26th of October, but there's also more reason for you to behave yourself. So I'm going to prepare videos. We're going to meet Paul. We're going to meet all of us, Mayor Toosey, Ezra Levant's come in, lots of people, lots of friends, to make sure that people know that the event on the October 26th is going ahead 100%. Say, for example, I get detained on an aeroplane, whatever, or at the port in my car, whatever happens, the event is on, and I'll have a pre-made video to explain why it's more important than ever now to show a peaceful resistance. If not, they've won. The reason they've tried to smash me for so long is to send a message to you. It's to intimidate you and silence you. So if they do smash me, if they do imprison me, if you don't turn out, they've won. And I've gone for 15 years when I've not wanted to at times. Like, the easy option for me would be not to go home. I don't have to. That'd be the easy option. But I don't want to do that. I feel like it would be cowardly. I've never avoided it. And I want to have my say. I want to have my say. I want to have my say documented by the best citizen journalists in Europe or in the world, in the UK, who will be in attendance to that court case. And I want the public, I want to expose the corrupt judiciary to the public with their unfair treatment of citizens. And I want to do that more so for the men that are right now in prison. Because as I said, I'm in a unique position where the world is watching what happens with me. I'm in a unique position. So many men, I heard from another one today. I heard from a gentleman today, said, please help. I've read the letter, the prison letter he sent home, saying how they're being terrorised, terrorised. What did he do? There were angry British citizens. You know why they're angry? And for our documentary and film that's going to go out, I'm very grateful that's going to go out as well. No matter what, the establishment can't stop it. It's coming out. We're going to show. Do you know that in every town and city, Paul, in every town and city, I've been shocked. So put in, for example, refugee rape Leeds. You'll have a woman who's going for a jog, gets raped, going for a jog in the morning by a refugee. Put in refugee rape Leicester. You'll have 3 or 4 different cases of refugees raping. 2 refugees raped a man in a hotel. You'll have so many examples in every single city. Literally, there isn't a city in the UK where a refugee... So who are refugees? Refugees are fake economic migrants. They've come here illegally. They've illegally broken into our country, so they shouldn't be here. So these are just on rape. You can put in the murders. They're in every city as well. So men, what the establishment don't want, which is why they want to silence me, they don't want you, the public, seeing that they're total failure. You see all the women that have been raped, the people that have been murdered across our nation by fake asylum seekers that our government have not just welcomed in, but they've put them in hotels. We've got 10 of them who are staying in hotels who have raped women. Do you know our government, against our wishes, put Libyans in a military base near Cambridge? They raped a boy walking home. They're put in the military. So there's so many examples of this. And what are those examples of? They're examples of total government failure in policy for 2 decades. The British public have begged and asked in every referendum, every vote, and every survey that they want to end open border mass immigration.
And they just refuse. They just refuse, right?
By refusing, what they don't want you to realise is that they've endangered all of you. They've took the safety of our daughters and our mothers and our women. They've took it. It's gone. It's gone in every town and city. It's not the same country.
Who can argue? Who can argue with that statement? Who can possibly argue with that?
I don't think most of the British public realise the level of crime, criminality, murders and rapes by refugees. I don't think they do. By the end of our film, I hope they do. I hope, because what the purpose in the film is, you see those British men that showed courage to come out and protest, not the ones who were mindlessly violent. Because if you're mindlessly violent, you will be prosecuted and you should be prosecuted. But if you've gone out and you've screamed or you've shouted or you've chanted, that's your right. And a democracy with freedom of speech and freedom of expression, your right is to criticise the government and their policies, not to be locked up and thrown to the wolves, thrown to Muslim gangs, put on majority Muslim wings, beaten up, stabbed in the showers, battered in the cell. That's not right. They've literally given them, and I get so upset about this because I've been there. I know what those men are looking at. I know how they're feeling. I know how scared they are. I also fully understand how their mothers feel, because how their children feel. They're petrified for them. So there's many people. So I'm coming home, but there's many dads who ain't going to spend Christmas this year with their kids. Many of them. And they've done nothing other than be angry with government's failed policies. And all through what happened over the last few months, I'm even looking now, the Manchester attacks by the two men at the airport, they still haven't been prosecuted.
Yeah, still no prosecutions. Yeah.
What we've seen is the total politicisation and weaponisation for the whole world to watch of our media and judiciary combined together to intimidate and put fear into the British public. I really wish I'm there on the 26th of October, but I also will be sitting in a cell, if I am in a cell, smiling, knowing that Keir Starmer will be scratching his head thinking, I thought we scared this lot into silence.
Yeah.
And rather, if I am there, I will be, even if I'm going to jail the next day or the day after, on the 28th, I'll be smiling, I'll be happy, because I look at how far we've come as a nation or people, how many are now awake. We have awoken a nation. People are awake. Yeah, they're not asleep like they were. I get that by everywhere I walk down the street. So I know that people are awake. Don't look at where we're going. Look at what we've already done. And we've put on two amazing events which terrorised and terrified the government.
Two very, very peaceful events, Tommy. Very peaceful.
And this one will be. And lads, anyone who's watching this, if you're intent on coming with the wrong attitude or drinking too much, please don't come.
Yeah.
Please don't come. Because when there's a bigger picture at play, which there is, I understand your anger. I was one of the angry people when I was 25 years old who felt voiceless, who felt disenfranchised, who wasn't being listened to and didn't know no other path. On the 26th of October, we're being listened to by the entire globe. Everyone's watching what's happening on the 26th of October. Do not let yourself down. Do not let your country down. Do not let us down. So much work is going into this behind the scenes. So many people. You see the people funding to put on this demonstration. It's going to cost 50, 60, whatever it is, £1,000. Yeah. All the people that are funding that, don't let them down. Don't let them down. They're not funding you to come and throw cans of beer. And I'm saying this. I know no one has at last two. So don't feel I'm patronising anyone. Yeah. I'm just stressed. I just want to stress. This is a massively important moment. And those officers, we have to give credit and should give credit.
Yes.
For the last two demonstrations, we have worked with the Metropolitan Police Force, and I have my own grievances. Look what they've done to me. Yeah, I'm forgetting that. Let's write a new chapter. We're at a new chapter. We've worked with them on two massive national demonstrations, 30,000 people and 100,000 people, and there were no problems. Okay, there were no problems because we stuck to what we said and they stuck to what they said. So we're going to go with that same MO into the next demonstration. We're working with them again. We've contacted the councils. We're putting applications. We've got insurances. We're doing everything like we done last time. And the police are working with us. We had a 2-hour meeting last week with them just to stress, look, we want, and as they're saying, which I can't deny because they've done it the last two times, we see now Keir Starmer's now in power, Labour now in power, but I do trust and believe these police officers that we've been working with for months now, and 6 months, that their intention is to have a safe and peaceful demonstration, as is ours. I don't trust that's Keir Starmer's intention. I don't trust that's Sadiq Khan's intention. And I know the police have been politicised so many times, but we have to give the benefit of the doubt of the last two. We've stuck to what we wanted. And if there was provocation from any police officers, if there was provocation, if you rise to it, you're giving them exactly what they want. You're giving them exactly what they want. So even if a police officer speaks to you rudely, even if they're aggressive towards you, ignore it and smile.
Behave,
Don't react. Because the majority of those police officers trust me, because I speak to them even when I'm in the cells. You know, when I got nicked last time, even the Muslim police officer, none of them could have been nicer. None of them could have been nicer. I got apologies off all of them. I got apologies off the sergeants when they were letting me out. So there's a big battle at play. And our battle is not to turn it into us versus every Metropolitan Police officer, because they're ordinary people who are signed up actually trying to...
I was going to say, Tommy, I get a lot of police officers that are currently serving. And I've been speaking to a lot of politicians recently, and I've got to tell you, they've all got your back, but they just won't come out and publicly say it. They've got to man up.
Yeah, they've got to man up. That will come. It'll come with time, but we've moved a lot. We've moved a lot. Even in the last 24 months, look what's moved. I think lots has moved, man. Lots has moved. I was hoping, and I think I sort of put my faith in the fact that, look, I didn't want Reform to come out and endorse Tommy Robinson. I didn't beg Reform to do anything like that. What I wanted was for them to stop lying about me, and that was it. And I was hoping that if we were doing a cultural movement and a street movement, that they could just go on and be the party that would say the things that no other party's saying.
Yeah.
When Nigel says we can't mass deport, liar, yes we can, and he's not brave enough to say it, yeah, that really I feel was a letdown to everyone. When he spoke about not being bothered by population replacement and by the fact that we're going to become a minority in our own country, that's a letdown. And people are saying, well, he has to play it politically. Well, Geert Wilders didn't play it politically. He said he'd ban Islam and he got elected as leader of Holland. Marine Le Pen's not playing it politically. She's gone through the roof. In fact, none of the Swedish Democrats didn't play it politically. They all said what needed to be said, what the public want to hear. Yeah. Mass deportations, close the borders, get rid of them. That's what we want to hear.
I mean, right now, Robert Jenrick is trying to out Farage.
He is out Faraging him. He's already out Faraged him. But the point is, I actually now change my opinion and believe that there does need to be another political force to scare reform into shifting. I don't think another political force will rise to power because reform have the mainstream face, they have the money, they have the support, they're the new Tory party, whatever. But they need to start seeing that in the Labour strongholds. You see what Nigel's not realising is, Nigel, you need to go after the 48% that haven't voted. You have got the same votes in the last election as UKIP got last time. When UKIP were there, you've not gone past that barrier. Yeah, you need the 48% of working class people who aren't voting. That's what you need. And by continually tarnishing us or our supporters as far right, you're not going to get there. Yeah, you're not going to get there. But I do believe now. I've been listening to you. I've been listening to you. So I'm looking at different political parties, and do you know what? When Jared Batten took over UKIP, I think their membership went to 30,000. They were flying. Absolutely flying. Nigel purposely destroyed the party. He used his contacts in the NEC to get rid of Gerard, sack him, and destroy the party. Like, destroy it. Now, this country needed, 10 years ago, an anti-Islamic extremist political party that would give a voice against Islam. And Nigel made sure there couldn't be one. That's what he done. He blocked any attempt to that. And he tarnished everyone. Now, I looked at him and thought, okay, he's going for Brexit. But he's still doing it. He's still attacking people that have showed courage to speak the truth. And people are saying, why did people vote for reform? They voted to have politicians in there that would go against the grain, that would speak about the uncomfortable truths, not sit there and still play the politically correct role.
And they're still going to go after him, aren't they? It doesn't matter what he says, they're still going to go after him, so he might as well just spit it out, mightn't he?
He's still deemed as racist and far right to all the left, but he thinks these people think they can win the media. You'll never win the media. If you're a threat to the establishment, you won't win the media. If you're not a threat, you'll get a mainstream TV show. You'll get all of these things. You'll get your slot if you're not a threat. Like Richard Tice, I look and think, Richard Tice, Matt Hancock's, they're mates. They're at the book launch together, as if they're bothered by him. Like he's going to be a risk to them. You see when they're going to get terrified? When that 48% start mobilising. When that 48% start mobilising and demanding and getting active and getting politically active. When the people who haven't voted and never vote, who are that disenfranchised, start getting up and start attending rallies. The 27th of July would have terrified them. 100,000 people. How many are supporting us? If there are 100,000, do you know how expensive it is to get to London? If 100,000 people have put their money in, their hard time, their effort, took the risk, not bothered about being deemed as far right. Everyone's showing their faces, everyone proud. Sorry, I'll go on about
we've all given up worrying about being called far right. That's in the past. It's done. Forgotten.
It's done. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work anymore.
The great thing is, it is shifted, yeah? So no matter how bad things are, and if I go to jail next week or 2 weeks, whatever it is, no matter how bad it is, they're simply just delaying the inevitable. The inevitable is the elections in Austria. The inevitable is Geert Wilders being elected. The inevitable is there's a total shift. And I remember, I gave a speech on the English Defence League and said there's a shift that's going to come. It's going to swing from left to right. Yeah, started with Italy. Yeah, I looked at Italy. I looked at their elections for the first time in 80 years. They elected a right-wing government. Yeah? This shift from left to right, no one can stop it. You can't stop it. It's natural. Once people become brave enough to speak the truth, once the public, people didn't listen to us 15 years ago because they didn't realise. Now they're realising, they're seeing their hotels in their leafy little suburbs filled with migrant men. They're seeing their daughters being harassed walking down the street. They're seeing the threats. They're seeing the risk. Hopefully our journalism has helped. Hopefully Elon Musk has helped to awaken so many. Everyone's played a pivotal role, Paul. I look at the role you've played. I look at the role Mayor Tussi's played. I look at the role of all of these people who have come forward and speaking the truth. It's so encouraging. And I look at the comments. We win in every one of them. Every comment on every article, in every news story, in every negative story, we win.
I mean, the thing is, Tommy, as well, is that the bottom line is this: I ain't no extremist. I don't want to be round no extremists, right? We're not. That's not what we are, right? We're just ordinary, regular people that can see what's happening.
The extremists hate us. Have you
Yeah,
read?
exactly. Yeah.
They hate us. I'm a race traitor. I'm a Zionist. I'm a multiculturalism lover. I'm a sellout. I'm all these things. We're hated by the extremists on either side. But the problem is, they managed to convince the mainstream public, or they managed for a few years, that we were the extremists for opposing the Islamization of our nation, for wanting safety for our daughters, for wanting you to close the borders of our nation. But I think, Paul, I've got my head in a positive role, man. I'm positive. Do you know why I'm positive? Because I want it over and done with. This has been hanging over me for a while. No matter what, if I have to go to jail, which is probably what I'll say to the judge, if you want to send me to jail for showing the British public the truth, you send me to jail. Do you know what I mean? Because I'll go in and I'll walk out with a smile on my face, man. And now, yeah.
I know one thing, Tommy. God forbid if that does happen, you'll have millions of people that are behind you and got your back. I'm going to finish with a positive because I've got a question from a lady. I thought it was a great one. Have a listen to this, and I want your honest answer. Right? Ready?
Hi, Paul. Hope I got the right number. I just had a question for Tommy, if possible. Wondered if there was a film made of his life, who would he like to play himself? Much love and peace to you all. Thank you. Bye.
So there you go, Tommy. If there was a film made of your life, and by the way, I think that is an absolute must. The trouble is, there's still a lot to play out when you become.
I'll have to be dead first. So,
so who's going to play you? Who's going?
Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito.
I think Tom Hardy. I think.
I love Tom Hardy. I love Plan B. I've always loved Plan B. So.
Tom Hardy would be ideal. Tommy, listen, mate. I look forward to seeing you soon. You are the nation's sacrificial lamb, and we appreciate you, mate. You know that,
mate. The problem is, what I keep saying is, do you know how many sacrificial lambs there are you don't get to hear about? So we get to hear my story. My family gets support. My family, I'm confident that if I go to jail for 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is, I'm confident people are going to support my family. What about all these other people? What about all these other families? What about the people this Christmas without a husband who's working? Well, I spoke to wives who are getting kicked out of their housing association houses now. Yeah, so they're kicking them out because they're saying that because their husband's gone to jail. It's like, well, he didn't do anything. So you get to hear my story. I am incredibly grateful for every bit of support and every person that supported me and will continue to support me. I'm very confident. I'm not confident about the court case, but I'm confident that I'll be all right. My family will be all right, which is the main worry. Anyone who's been in jail, little things are big things. All I need to get my mind straight when I'm in there is knowing that the kid's all right. That's it.
Good on you, Tommy. Speak to you soon, mate.
Cheers, Paul. See you soon, bud.